Good evening. It's the Christmas week, that weird period between Christmas and New Year. You're probably at home, or with friends or family, or watching this video when you should be working, but there's no one around, so who cares? Basically, I think we're all in the mood for some relaxing content. So today we're going to do something a bit mellow. We're going to take a visit to the Kyoto Garden. The Kyoto Garden is one of those hidden gems in London, to use the old cliché. It's located within Holland Park among the scenic woodland and the strangely over-friendly squirrels.
You are basically fearless, aren't you? Okay, you can what?
There are many attractions within Holland Park, and maybe one of these days I should talk about the others, but this is by far my favourite. So, a little background. Holland Park is a park in West London. It's not too far out of centre. It's a short walk from Holland Park tube station, although Kensington Olympia, Notting Hill Gate and Kensington High Street are also not too far. It all depends how far you want to walk, really. The park was originally the grounds of Holland House, which itself was originally known as Cope Castle, built in 1605. The name Holland House comes from a later owner, Henry Rich, 1st Earl of Holland. The Earl was described as extravagant, decorative, quarrelsome, and a hugely successful courtier, so presumably Rich actually was pretty rich. Later owners, not so much, and in the 19th century the grounds were sold off to form the current park. The house was destroyed in 1940 during an air raid. Here are some people who are really dedicated to making use of their local library. In 1952, the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea bought the ruins. The Kyoto Garden is within the park and, oh for heaven's sake. If, like me, you are constantly beset by squirrels, or just enjoy reading, we all know how much overlap there is between those two groups, I heartily recommend today's sponsor, Readly. Readly is a magazine reading app that can save you space and money. Magazines can seem like an extravagance these days with the current cost of living and the rising price of squirrel traps. So it's great that for a single, very reasonable monthly fee, you can get unlimited access to over 6,000 magazines on all sorts of subjects. Say you need to know about, wildlife, for, whatever reason. You can look up a particular title, or even just enter a keyword into the search box, and it'll take you right to everything it has. And there are back issues too, so you no longer need to worry about, for instance, squirrels destroying your magazine collection. Every account can be used with up to 5 profiles. So you can share with family, friends, squirrel exterminators, whoever you like. Click the link in the description below and you can get 2 months access for free that you can cancel at any time. They are that confident that you'll like it. Readly, because the squirrels won't leave me alone. Where was I? Oh yes. The Kyoto Garden is within the park. It was gifted by the city of Kyoto in 1991 in recognition of the ties of friendship between Britain and Japan. Kyoto, of course, is a major city in Japan, famous for its gardens. My favourite piece of trivia about Kyoto is that Kyoto is an anagram of Tokyo, the capital of Japan. That has no relevance to anything, I just thought it was interesting. Curiously, I've also come across sources that say that it was built to celebrate the Japan Festival in London in 1992. But the majority of sources say 1991. I don't know, unless they built it in 1991 in anticipation of the festival of 1992, but I don't know. The sources are unclear. And frankly, I'm too busy being persecuted by squirrels to go in depth. The garden was designed by Shoji Nakahara, the head of the Kyoto Garden Association. It's intended as a place of quiet contemplation, although it was pretty busy when I visited. It is rather popular among locals. Of course, it takes its design cues from traditional Japanese garden design, drawing on the beauty of nature for its inspiration. Of course, what's natural and commonplace in Japan is rather exotic here in Britain. Opinion varies on when the best time is to visit. Some say spring, when the trees are in blossom. Some favour summer when the flowers are in full bloom, and others still recommend autumn when the leaves change to a variety of eye-catching colours. As you can see here, I visited in December when there was still some snow on the ground. And even though winter hardly seems like the most ideal time to visit a garden, there's plenty to see. This really is a garden for all seasons. Even in the snow there are koi swimming in the pond and peacocks wandering the lawns. There are still leaves on the trees, so you can still see those colours that people keep going on about. The waterfall remains a delightful centrepiece. The Kyoto Garden, I should say, isn't the only Japanese garden in Holland Park. Next to it is the Fukushima Garden, which is a 2012 addition in memory of the Fukushima disaster. There isn't, I have to say, a whole lot to the history of these gardens, but you wouldn't really expect there to be. This is, after all, a place of tranquility. I actually didn't plan to make this video, you know. I was here filming a completely different video and I just popped in to get some B-roll footage. But I decided to stick around and make a dedicated film. People have asked me how I choose what to make a video about. Well, sometimes it's carefully planned, and sometimes I just see something I like and decide to make a video then and there. The latter is the kind of video that you're watching right now. Both of the Japanese gardens are very worth a visit, whether you want to take a quick look or just relax for a while in beautiful surroundings. What makes them all the better is that they're free. You can just pop in whenever you like. They are wheelchair accessible, but I'm afraid you can't take your dog in. So that is a brief introduction to the Japanese gardens in Holland Park in the capital of the United Kingdom. If that's confusing, don't worry about it. Just take a stroll and switch off for a while.
Okay, yeah, I'd like you to get down now, please.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please do click the like button and consider subscribing for more. I'd like to thank my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon as ever. You are the harmony to my nature. Thanks also to Readly for sponsoring this video. Click on the link in the description below to take advantage of their generous offer. You know, this is going to be the last video of 2022. So I also want to take a moment to thank everyone viewing this, whether you're a casual viewer or a subscriber or a patron or whatever. I'm just very happy you're here. Your views make this channel what it is. I'd like to wish you all a happy and prosperous 2023. I have lots planned for the coming year and I hope you'll join me. Cheerio, and Happy New Year.